Thank you so much, Courtney. To my fellow honorees, you are an amazing group, and what a privilege to be part of this impressive group. To everyone who supported this event, DSM Magazine, One Iowa, American Equity, and the other sponsors, an event like this requires commitment to inclusion, and it is not without risk. And thank you for being willing to take that risk. I want to thank my spouse, Frank Vaya, who is amazing. And after 33 years continues to surprise me. He's off camera right over there. And thanks to my family and step family and to my business partners at Substance Architecture and the whole Substance Architecture team. You are my family away from home, and I always know that you have my back. I'm really glad that I got the crying out of the way in the video so we can move on to other things. The award has made me really pensive. I've been thinking about how my story unfolded and the many people who supported and influenced me. As our society and LGBTQ people, we've made a lot of progress. Since I first came out in 1988, I wouldn't be able to recognize so many things about today. How do we do it, and how can we continue to make forward progress? Clearly, it involves tireless work, and we've heard about Courtney and Dr. Christensen's work, and it takes a lot of work and volunteering. But to what end? I think one of the key factors in having this work be successful is empathy. People see us as we become open, and when we share our reality with them, that's what starts to change people's attitudes and people's lives. Empathy is something we're in short supply of these days. That's one of the reasons that I have been committing a lot of my energy in the last 10 years or so to art and literature. Art and literature do a lot of things. One of those things is create empathy. And as Tarana Burke says, an exchange of empathy provides an entry point for a lot of people to see what healing feels like. Our country and all of us need healing. I think art and literature are empathy engines, a catalyst for such kind of healing. About this subject, I think back to being a 24-year-old. And I discovered Armistead Maupin, and some of you may be too young to know about him, but Tales of the City. It was like a revelation to me. There were gay people, and they were open, and they were happy. And to a 24-year-old in Ames, Iowa, who went to a Southern Baptist church, that was revelatory. Since then, art and literature have been routes for me to explore my own community, but also to build empathy for other communities of which I am not a member. My experience with artists like Carrie James Marshall and Jordan Weber with the Greater Des Moines Public Art Foundation have blown through barriers and preconceptions. I've learned from Edward Louie, whose story of Eddie was just knocked me out, from Ta-Nehisi Coates' Between the World and Me, from Tommy Orange's There to help me understand a Native American perspective in a way that I hadn't really before. All of these books create empathy within me and have done so for many people. And I think that brings me to, I have to get on my soapbox. I think all of us are going to get on our soapbox a little bit. The work to support our public libraries cannot be minimized. For many people, they may not be able to afford resources personally, but to have a place where they can get technology, accurate information, and a quiet place where they'll be respected. And for us all to protect the fact that those collections will not be edited, that books about trans people will not be removed from collections. That's a situation that we have to aggressively protect. And so support your library systems and get involved so that when the challenges happen, you're there to say no. The role of the public library is to reflect all of us, not just a certain pre-approved segment. Thanks to Jessica Rowe and the Greater Des Moines Public Art Foundation and the Des Moines Public Library Foundation and Dory Briles and the boards of those groups. You are awesome people and awesome groups. And thanks to everybody for this award. It's an incredible privilege.